How's it going, guys? Today we're gonna be going through a very important topic in Raid, which is the clan boss. The Demon Lord clan boss is definitely one of the most important things you need to be tackling, especially when you're first starting off Raid, because it really is giving insane rewards, and it's definitely worth it knowing how you can get those rewards as soon as you can. So in this video we're gonna talk about clan boss, go through all of the important debuffs and buffs you need to be bringing to the table, and also what you should be looking out for. So I hope the video helps you, and if it does, a like and subscribe would be awesome. And what is also awesome is I got a brand new download link for new players or people who want to be starting a second account, which is going to be giving you not only Corrado and Ugo, same as before, but also on level 30 you will be able to get yourself the amazing epic reviver Tagore, and this bad boy really is going to be helping you a ton. This dude brings a big increased speed on a free turn cooldown when booked, he has revive plus shield plus healing, the passive ain't no joke, and he even brings a little bit of increased defense here and there, so he is definitely an amazing champion to have on your new account. And also you will be able to get yourself one of the amazing legendaries like Wukong or Alice as soon as you start off in your first 24 hours if you use one of the promo codes in-game. Now let's get into the video. Okay, so most of you already probably know how important clan boss is, but right now I'm just gonna show you how important clan boss is. Right now I've actually completed every single stage because I had extra clan boss keys here and there, so now you are actually gonna get to see all of the amazing rewards you could be expecting out of clan boss. Okay, let's see what we get out of the best chest from the max chest. A void short for free, 5-star boots, ain't nothing wrong with that. Also an ancient shard, not the best out of the lot, but it's something. We even got a 6-star epic shield in here, not the best out of the lot, but it's something. For me, not so much. You can also see what the others have. And here it's a little bit more modest, but still nothing to scoff at. And look at that! Free legendary skill book, one of the most important things you could be getting. Why the hell am I yellow? What is happening with the camera? Okay, much better. And yeah, these are the best chests you could be getting. The Brutal is also definitely not bad. You could be expecting some Ancient, some Void Shards here and there out of those. Nothing too amazing this time. And Hard and lower, they're becoming a lot less enticing. Like, it's still a trickle of gems here and there. Some bad items, that kind of stuff. But it's still pretty amazing, given you are going to be getting these every single day if you manage to actually tackle them. And in this video, we are going to be concentrating on how you could be getting the best chances of actually doing that. Okay, let me just throw a quick Ultra Nightmare key for me here. At this point of the game, I'm not even having to worry about clan boss anymore. I basically have amazing champions that just brute force themselves into it. With a quick battle, it's always one key for me, above 100 mil most cases. And yeah, 126 definitely ain't bad. Okay, so what are the most important things for clan boss? Well, first things first. There is actually a very interesting thing about Demon Lords. Some of you might actually not know, but if the clan boss is actually above 50% health, he will be always void. After it drops below 50%, it's gonna become either spirit or magic or force, and depending on what he becomes, he is actually gonna get different effects on him. Depending on what the clan boss is, for instance right now we're seeing him as void, his second skill is actually gonna be applying an extra effect. In this case, he will actually be landing with 2.5% poison debuff each time he uses his second skill, Flesh Wither. If he is Force, we can see he's going to be landing decreased attack. If he is Spirit, he's actually going to be landing decreased speed. Here we go, decreased speed. And if he's Magic, he is going to be landing decreased accuracy. So depending on what affinity you are, that's not only gonna change who gets good hits and who gets weak hits, it's also gonna change what the second skill of the clan boss will be debuffing you with, which is kind of important. Like, if you're against magic affinity, for instance, you know your accuracy might actually not be enough. If you're against spirit, you might need extra speed, that kind of stuff, so it's definitely worth noting these things. And also, if your team is really bare bone and you really need to maximize your odds of winning, maybe always try to be beating the clan boss while it's still in its void form, meaning it's above 50% health. Okay, now let's talk about the important debuffs you need to be bringing here, and we can already see the clan boss will be immune to things like stun, freeze, sleep, provoke, block active skills, block passive skills, fear, true fear, petrification, berserk, and enfeeble. So basically there's no hard CC that's gonna actually work against the clan boss, but also something I'm kind of ashamed to admit I didn't know for not too long ago is he's also immune to decreased speed, so you can't even slow down the clan boss, which is pretty important to note. What this means is you're basically gonna be left with just a handful of debuffs you could be bringing to the table, but they will definitely be increasing the damage and survivability of your team by a lot. We can even see that the raid guide is hinting at what you should be bringing to the table here, and indeed, if you want to be doing a lot of damage against the clan boss, especially when you're first starting out, poisons and HP burns will be by far the most important things you could be bringing against the clan boss for easy damage, because this is gonna be basically dealing the damage no matter how good or bad your champions are geared, as long as they have enough accuracy to actually land those debuffs. The other very important debuff you want to be bringing would be Weaken, because Weaken increases all sources of damage by 25%, which is absolutely huge. This means your poisons are going to deal 25% more damage, the HP burns, all of that good stuff. Weaken does increase the damage from that. And the other really cool debuff you could be bringing here would be Decreased Defense, and this way you are going to be chipping at the clan boss even harder with your attack-based nukers. So if you have something like an Alice or a Wukong or that kind of stuff, they are going to be slapping the clan boss a little bit harder thanks to the decreased defense. This debuff also becomes a bit more important on the later stages of the clan boss, because at the beginning the clan boss doesn't even have that much defense to talk about, so it's not going to be that big a deal. I guess another niche debuff you might consider bringing to the table here would be block buffs, so you can actually prevent the clan boss of applying the increased attack to himself before slapping your heroes in the teeth. And lastly, one more debuff you could be bringing here would be the Leech debuff, which is gonna help you actually heal your team without actually bringing an actual healer to your team. That is a bit of a niche little debuff you could be bringing, but if you have something like a Deacon Armstrong, for instance, you could definitely consider bringing the Leech, because not only he is bringing Leech here, he's also gonna be bringing the decreased defense, and he's also gonna be turn meter boosting your team, and also his aura ain't no joke. The Leech is not very consistent for him, but it's still definitely better to have him than to not. Obviously, the other amazing champion you could be bringing here is none other than Ugo, who is one of the free champions you could be getting out of my promo code, and she will be bringing you the decreased defense and the block buffs, as well as tons of healing, as well as Leech. So honestly, Ugo is an absolutely no-brainer for you if you want to be bringing a very amazing top-tier support champion to your clan boss, so Ugo definitely ain't no joke. Another amazing champion you could be bringing here from my promo code would be Corrado, and the reason behind that is he is bringing you the big boy Weaken here, and Weaken is actually not a very easy debuff to come by, especially when you're first starting off, but it is definitely one of the most important ones you could be bringing because it basically increases the damage from all sources. Another amazing champion you could be bringing here would be Geomancer, mainly because of his Weaken and HP Burn combo on the A3, and also obviously his passive is absolutely amazing, but for Geomancer's passive to work, he needs to be the one who actually has the HP Burn active, so be careful bringing a second HP burner on the team if you want your Geo to be doing the max. He's also bringing decreased accuracy, which could be huge. He also could be removing the buffs from the clan boss if you allow him to buff himself, that kind of stuff, so that can be awesome. And for the poison debuff, you could be bringing none other than your starter champion Kale, which all of you honestly should have picked, because he is just an absolute beast when it comes to clan boss, because he is bringing the big boy poison on his A3, the small poison on the A1, and you could even just turn off his A2 when you're setting up your clan boss team, because you don't really care about this AoE, and also it's much better for you to actually be slapping the clan boss with extra poison damage instead of the straight up potentially bigger damage out of this, but the poison damage is going to be much better in the long run, I'd say. For decreased attack, you could also be bringing things like Rector Draft, who is an amazing healer slash debuffer and reviver for you, and she will have a nice chance of actually decreasing the clan boss's attack. Fane would be another absolute unit of a champion you could be bringing here, because she basically brings all of the core important debuffs here. Like, look at this nonsense. Her A1 is nothing to really write home about, but her A2 gives the big poison, gives the decreased attack, and her A3 brings decreased defense and weaken. So those are 4 crucial debuffs Fane will be bringing to the table for you, as long as you actually manage to keep her alive, because as one of my viewers actually said, Fane does everything you need in Clan Boss except living, and truer words have never been spoken. Like, Fane is an absolute definition of glass cannon if I ever saw one in Raid, and she is very hard to keep alive, but she is very, very worth it to do so. So make sure to bring Fane on the team if you have one. She is really going to be bringing a lot of stuff in the form of just a single champion. So those are all the really important debuffs you want to be bringing. Now let's talk about the really important buffs you want to be bringing, which are going to actually help your team live long enough to deal their damage. Again, Raid is going to be giving you a nice little hint here what you should be looking for, and yes, increased defense is going to help big time. Revive on death, if timed implemented correctly, could be absolutely amazing, but let's not pretend this is going to be an easy buff for most people to actually get their hands on. Ally protection would be super big, as long as the ally protector is actually healthy enough not to die every time they take a hit, because in order for an ally to be protecting, they are going to be taking portion of the damage the clan boss is going to be slapping them with, so they definitely need to be built very tanky and very chunky. Block damage is another really cool debuff you could be bringing, but that is again not going to be something most people will have access to when they're first starting off. It is going to be something you should be looking for in terms of unkillable teams when you're a little bit later into the game, like let's say 4 or 5, 6 months into the game. Then maybe you can actually start thinking about building an unkillable clan boss team with revive on death, block damage, unkillable, that kind of stuff. And that way you will actually be able to last 50 turns against the clan boss before he actually starts ignoring those as well, which you could be reading in this skill right here. After turn 50, all attacks will ignore any block damage and unkillable buffs on each target. So that means after turn 50, this strategy stops working, but usually 50 turns is more than enough for you to actually be dealing max damage for the certain key. Another nice buff you could be bringing here would be the block debuffs buff, and this way you will be actually preventing the clan boss from stunning you with his A3. He is going to try to stun you each first turn he takes, and he will be debuffing you somehow each second turn he takes. As you saw, depending on his affinity, he's either going to be dropping poisons as void, drop accuracy as magic, drop speed as spirit, and decrease attack as force. So arguably force will be the easiest in terms of debuffs, but also depending on your team, it might not be so hot for you, because if you're bringing nothing but blues, force is going to be hitting you hard, whereas you're going to be hitting him weak. Another very important buff you could be bringing for your team in order for them to survive long enough would be the strengthen buff. And with this bad boy, you're basically going to be decreasing damage from all sources from the clan boss by 25%, which is basically the opposite of the weaken debuff. You could check out my detailed video about buffs and debuffs in Raid, and that is going to help you better understand how important all of these debuffs and buffs will be. So yeah, definitely take a look at that one. You also won't be celebrating things like Perfect Veil against the clan boss, because you will actually be reducing incoming damage by 15% with the good Perfect Veil, so that's also going to help you big time. Things like counter attack can be absolutely massive, especially if you have your champions with masteries, because if you bring things like Giant Slayer and War Master, each time your champions take a hit, they actually have a chance to bring some very big boy damage, so that will definitely increase your damage by a lot. Increased defense would also be pretty awesome. Like I said, ally protection can be absolutely huge, but your ally protector does need to be very tanky. Increased accuracy might actually help you build your champions with less accuracy than you are comfortable building them with, that kind of stuff. Basically, you gotta prioritize all of these buffs and debuffs and try to bring a very nice team that is gonna actually be handling the clan boss nice and good. We can actually try and quickly build a nightmare team here. With all of these important things in mind, and I'm just gonna throw something together literally off the top of my head. And let's start with Geomancer, an absolutely huge champion that is worth even endgame people's teams. Here we have it. Mine's a +4, so there's that. He is decently built, nothing too crazy on him. We could bring some poisoners in here. Let's say Delijah or Venom Mage. Let me actually see what else Delijah was bringing to the table. She has the poisons. Decrease attack would definitely be lovely. Continuous heals and shields. Yeah, why not? We could also bring Taragi in here. He does bring the ally protect, shields, reflect damage. He also has poison places from his himself. And he is also bringing decrease attack. We already have one of those in the form of Delijah, so maybe we could change her to Venom Mage instead. I think she was also bringing some interesting things like decreased defense, decreased attack. Yeah, all around pretty good stuff. Yeah, I'd say maybe Venom Mage is going to be a little bit better than Delijah here. In terms of buffs, we will be very happy bringing somebody who has good increased speed here. Let's try and showcase the Gore perhaps. He's only 50 for me and probably built pretty poorly, but still worth a shot. And let's maybe bring Ursula for a little bit of a strength and action and just throw the whole thing together and see how that goes. So yeah, let's just go ahead and see what this team does for us. I'm gonna take it off quick battle, and I'm just gonna leave them do whatever they want. They should be decently capable of knowing what to be doing each turn. So yeah, let's see how they actually fare here. One thing to note is, after turn 10, the clan boss is going to be hitting a lot harder, so definitely be prepared to have to take even bigger, better damage out of him. And after turn 20, things start amping up even faster, so that might also be pretty problematic for most. Like I said, after turn 50, he's also going to start ignoring things like block damage and unkillable, so that would be a bummer. If that's what your tactic is, but still, in 50 turns you should be more than capable of dealing a good amount of damage against the clan boss dude. Building an unkillable team or an Infinity team would definitely be ideal for you later on. It's not the only way you could be dealing max chest on auto. As you saw, I don't have an Infinity team of my own, I just brute forced it with good champions that work well together, and they're also pretty well built, so eventually you will also be able to do that, but in most cases you are actually going to be able to build an Infinity team with Wixwell, let's say, that extends shields and makes them bigger and better over and over again, or just an unkillable team with the unkillable buff and stuff like that. So yeah, that will definitely be also a very nice way to be tackling the clan boss. I'm just gonna leave this on auto, and I'll basically see you in about 10 minutes, I'd assume. It should be enough, hopefully, for this fight to be over, or at least for me to be having the max chest, at least, that kind of stuff. So far, we're not dealing damage too well, if I gotta be completely honest. It's turn 10, and we're only barely scraping the 6 million mark, but let's see, hopefully they last long enough so that the damage actually amps up. Okay, and we're back, and sadly, we actually didn't do as well as I hope we did. We can still see Geomancer was the main source of damage here. His burn and his reflect damage, basically, thanks to the passive, really comes in handy here. Turagi also gave a lot of poison damage here and there, but I guess Elijah was just not a great idea here. As a second main source of damage, maybe we were even overcapping the debuffs or something, I don't know. But yeah, still, it was kind of an okay team, but I guess maybe it wasn't such a bright idea bringing the Gore here as a 50 as well. Probably doesn't even have masteries now that I think about it, so I'd say that was the weak link here. Let me just slide in here real quick. I noticed I forgot to mention something really important. We actually could have saved that Nightmare key if we saw it's going to shit by actually exiting the game while we are battling the Nightmare clan boss. From what I hear, I've never actually done this myself, but if you actually see that the clan boss fight is not going your way, you didn't bring your A game on, you missed the mark on some of the speed tunes and all of that stuff, you could actually just Alt F4 from the game if you're on PC, or just close the game if you're on mobile, and that's supposed to not be eating the key for you. Again, I haven't done this myself. I heard this while I was researching some extra info for this video, so try it at your own risk, but if that's the case, that is definitely a pretty huge tip to be using, so you can actually give yourself the maximum amount of chances to actually get good amounts of damage in the clan boss. But yeah, all around you are getting the picture. It's not super hard to be doing at least 2 key Nightmare, that kind of stuff. And another thing you really need to think about when deciding what clan boss key you're going to be slapping on is how much damage and how much rewards you're actually going to be getting. Because if you actually get the ultimate chest from the Nightmare clan boss, this would be much better than getting the, let's say, mythical chest from the Ultra Nightmare boss. The reason behind that is, look at this. The ultimate chest brings you a Sacred Shard, Legendary Skill Book, all of the good stuff, basically. Whereas the weak chest of the Ultra Nightmare, well, it's just voids, just epics. None of the really important stuff. The really good stuff only comes with the last chest. So it's very important. If you're not going to be able to hit the max damage on the Ultra Nightmare, might as well just hit the max damage on Nightmare instead, and maybe even hit Brutal for max rewards on this thing as well, because I'm pretty sure that the percentages of drop chances of voids is going to be much higher on this chest instead of the first chest on the Ultra Nightmare, for instance. So it definitely takes a little bit of strategizing for you to maximize your rewards out of the clan boss this way. A very important tool you could be using in order to actually know what you're going to be needing against the different clan boss teams will be the Raid Stage tool. This thing is over at Hell Hades, which is a beacon of knowledge basically for you, and this is also a great place for you to actually check if your champions are good against clan boss or not. And yeah, you go to Raid Shadow Legends, and under Tools you go to Raid Stages tool, and here you could be picking clan boss. Select the stage depending on what you're at: easy, hard, brutal, nightmare, normal, ultra nightmare. We were on nightmare right now, so let's give that one a check. And here we can check the nightmare stage, so we can see what kind of stats we needed, and we can see that the clan boss had 150 resistance, meaning if we want to be landing our debuffs, we needed 175 accuracy on our champions. Also, if we were planning on resisting what the Demon Lord is bringing, we can see that the clan boss has 150 accuracy, meaning we need 155 resistance in order to have a good chance of actually resisting what the clan boss is doing. You cannot be resisting the stun the clan boss is bringing on his third attack, but you could be resisting the poisons or the debuffs he's bringing depending on the affinity he's on. So there's that too. And the other important thing here is to check how much speed the clan boss has, and also how much attack. Like, look at this, almost 4,000 attack. The defense is not that high, but still decreasing the defense will increase the damage. And also, if we bump up this to Ultra Nightmare, here we're gonna see that his attack is freaking almost 7,000. So we're actually slashing it down by 50%. So this would be only 3,500, whereas on Nightmare, slashing this by 50 would have been less than 2,000, which is a lot more bearable. Same thing with the defense, with minus 60% defense on this thing. This thing goes under, what, 700, so that's gonna be pretty good. And also on Ultra Nightmare, we can also see his resistance is 225, so we will need 250 accuracy to be landing all of our important debuffs. And as for if we were planning on resisting his stuff, you'd need 330 resist, but bringing resistance against Demon Lord is not as important, I guess. So yeah, definitely do head on down Hell Hades and check out their Raid Stages tool in order for you to be seeing what are the important breakpoints for each individual clan boss. Basically, if you have 250 accuracy on your debuffer champions, you're basically set. And you definitely would like your champions to be preferably above 190 speed, so at least you're taking your turns before the clan boss does. And this way you are going to be able to debuff them as well as buff yourself before you actually take the full force of the Demon Lord. All around, that's gonna be it for this video. Hope this helps you figure out what you want to be bringing for the clan boss, all of the important buffs, debuffs, and everything around the clan boss. And don't forget to use the download link from my link below, and that is gonna give you 3 amazing champions, which all will be helping you massively in the clan boss, guaranteed. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, a like and subscribe would be awesome. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris05, and I'll see you in my next video or stream.